Civil society leader in Mexico has been found guilty of gender-based political violence. This after he went on social media and described a transgender lawmaker as, quote, a man who self-ascribes as a woman. As part of the verdict, Rodrigo Ivan Cortez was placed on the National Registry of Offenders. He was also ordered to complete reparation measures, including daily social media apologies. And joining us now is Congressman Cortez and his legal counsel, Julio Pol of Alliance Defending Freedom International. Welcome to you both, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. First off, Rodrigo, I want to get your reaction to last week's verdict. And did you ever think that your social media post would garner so much attention and controversy?
Definitely not. This is so unjust because this agreement is not discrimination or violence. The law in Mexico is being weaponized and weaponized to chill speech that threatens the advances of a very radical political agenda in my country. I has been convicted of violence when in reality, it's my opponents that have repeatedly brought chaos and unrest to Mexico's political institutions.
And Julio, I want to go to you next. I mean, what message do you think the Mexican judiciary is sending with their verdict? And why does there seem to be such a crackdown on free speech in this country right now?
With this decision, the electoral court and Mexican courts in general are emitting this message that censoring and silencing is okay, that you cannot express your views. And this is very threatening for democracy in Mexico, but in all the world in general.
And tell us about these reparations that the Supreme Chamber ordered Rodrigo to make. I mean, I know, as we mentioned, it tells him making daily apologies on social media, but I'm curious, I mean, how can they compel him to do that? And then what happens if he doesn't fulfill those orders?
Well, I think the Mexican court has created, out of nothing, a mandatory incriticability that cancels parliamentary debate, public debate, freedom of expression, and religious freedom, dismantling democracy and imposing an ideological thought without any scientific or legal basis. I see a clear pattern here. It's not only my case. A member of the regime goes to the National Electoral Institute, and this one takes the case to the Electoral Court. With this pattern, 2 cardinals, 3 bishops, 2 priests, and 2 members of Congress has been sentenced. So the fundamental freedoms are greatly threatened in Mexico by the gender confusion ideology and an authoritarian regime.
And Julio, I want you to jump in here just a minute. I mean, what can happen to him legally, to Rodrigo, if he doesn't fulfill, these reparations?
So, as you said, he's compelled to express himself in public social media. 30 days with a drafted apology that was drafted by the court was completely compelling him to speak. And if he does not comply, so all the avenues are now closed in Mexico. So that's why ADF International continues supporting him. It's bringing this case to the Inter-American Commission of Human Rights. He can be threatened in Mexico in different ways with sanctions, economical sanctions, as the one he has already received.
Rodrigo, we're almost out of time, but I want to ask you before we wrap this up, tell us how this has all impacted you personally and professionally, and what are your plans moving forward?
Well, this is shocking to tell the truth without any violence, and this sanction for telling the truth is not something that you expect from your country, for your government. So we are trying to find out how to still saying the truth and not be convicted again. So there is some unrest in this, but we are trying to keep this fight for saying the truth peacefully.
Well, gentlemen, thank you both for coming on. We appreciate it, and we're going to continue following this case. Thank you so much. God bless.